Hello students, good morning. Today we are going to see what is meant by macroeconomics, and then we are going to compare this macroeconomics with microeconomics. What are the differences that we are going to see in short, and then we are going to see the business cycle. Now you may have studied in economics that all the reasons why we are facing economic problems are because of unlimited wants that we have, and if you compare these unlimited wants, resources are very limited, and that is the major reason why we have to always keep on adjusting or prioritizing the things that we want to have, and that is the major reason why we face economic problems. Now let us go to the next slide, where we are going to see what this macroeconomics is all about. So basically macroeconomics is going to deal with the production of goods and services, distribution of all these goods to the market, then all these goods will be exchanged for some price or value that company will be selling the products, and in return they'll be getting money for it. With all these goods and services, that consumers will be able to satisfy their needs and wants. So basically all these goods are produced for the purpose of consumption. Okay, so you can see for this public finance facilities are also available. Okay, so all the different manufacturing companies may think about going for public finance. Now first of all we'll see the difference in micro and macroeconomics. So as microeconomics is basically based on the individual study, right? So individual, one person is studied at length. So what all different wants that he has, what all resources that he has. So basically in microeconomics you will be studying law of demand, law of supply. Okay, so elasticity of demand, the factors which are linked with the individuals. Okay, so you can see here you will be studying price theory. In this case of you will be studying income theory. Okay, so analysis will be at individual level in macroeconomics, whereas in macroeconomics you will be studying the aggregates. So basically you will be carrying out analysis at economy level, and that is the reason why it is also called as a study of aggregates than individuals, right? So here you will be studying the individual incomes in case of a microeconomics, how individual income affects demand and supply, okay, and the price of the product. Whereas in macroeconomics you will be studying as to how the national income or GDP, GNP, gross domestic product, per capita income. So you will be studying all the different aggregates at the economy level. So this basically focuses on individual output, whereas the other one focuses on the national output. In the next slide you will come to know what all things that macroeconomic covers. Okay, so macroeconomics basically covers all these things: theory of income, theory of employment, theory of money, theory of general price level, then theory of economic growth, and theories of international trade. Now why all these theories that we'll be studying? So since macroeconomics is going to deal with the aggregates, how these aggregates get affected, that is the major area of study in macroeconomics. Now if you see theory of national income, so how the national income is assessed, what all ways that are available to measure this income, so that will be studied in theory of national income. Now in case of a theory of employment, we are going to see what all factors are going to affect the employment and how employment is going to determine the national income and the growth of a economy. The major reason being demand is going to determine production. Production is going to determine the employment. Employment is going to determine individual incomes, and if individual incomes will be less, obviously national income will be less, since it is an aggregate of all, right? So this is how you can see employment is relating with so many factors. If person is having employment, then only he will be able to generate income, and if he will be able to generate income, then only he will be able to use that money, and he is going to purchase the products and services for the consumption purpose. So theory of money will help you understand all the different variables that are affecting money supply in the market. Then theory of general price level, basically we are talking about how the price level changes with all the different factors. All that will be studied in macroeconomics at length. Then theory of economic growth, how monetary and fiscal policy is helpful for the government to control the market and all the different factors. And lastly, that the theories of international trade. When you think of growing your national income, you have to also think about improving or increasing your business beyond the borders. Okay, and that is the reason why even international business is going to add to the development of an economy. So macroeconomics studies all these different theories, and it assesses the impact of all the different factors on the economy at large. So next slide will help you understand the relationship between an individual, bank and the organization or different companies which are engaged with production of goods and services. Now an individual is going to get the income from the company when he is employed, right? So he is directly working with the company and he is getting the income. Now what happens, he is going to use this income, he is going to purchase some products and services. That's how the funds are again going to flow to the organization, and some funds which are left, what we call it as a savings. Okay, so that saving he is going to deposit with the bank. Now this saving is with the bank, and bank can make this or make use of this saving to give finance facilities to the different organizations. This is how all these things are interlinked, right? Change in one factor is going to result into change in the other factor. Now in this slide we are going to see the business cycle. Okay, so now you can see on this axis time factor is denoted, on this axis you can find the output. Okay, so you can see with passing of time that the output is growing, but you can see this particular arrow or cycle, it is showing the business cycle. Now this is termed as a one business cycle, and this again is termed as a other business cycle. Now at this level you can find peak. Now you can see contraction is resulting and the production is going down. Okay, so the major reason being there may be fall in the demand, and as a result that the production has also reduced. Now this particular phase is called as a recession phase. Okay, now after this point, this is the low point. Okay, so after this point you can see again the market is recovering and or the business is recovering, so it is going to result into again increase in the output. On this line output is shown, you can see that the output is increasing. At this point again it is called as a prosperity phase. This is the peak or where the output is maximum. Okay, so this phase is called as an expansion phase, and this phase is called as a contraction phase. So you can see if the output is going down, that is contraction, and if the output is increasing, that is the expansion. Okay, this phase when the output is going down is called as a recession phase. When the output is increasing or market is expanding or output is expanding, that the phase is called as a prosperity or growth phase. Okay, now we are going to see features of all these different phases at length. Okay, just with passing of time you can see that the output is going to grow, and this line is going to this line is showing the trend, how the things are changing. Okay, now in this slide you can see how this is cyclical, and with passing of time there will be different cycles, right? So it's a continuous process. Okay, first of all we'll see the characteristic or features of prosperity phase, right? So as the phase we are talking about, it is the growth phase or prosperity phase. You can see that the level of output is at the highest point. Why the output is high at a higher side? You can easily understand that the demand from the market is at a higher side. It is going to result into high level of income and employment, which further results into more demand for the funds, resulting into increased interest rates, and even prices of the products are at the rising side, and it is going to result into the inflation, right? In the next slide you can see, you will find larger expansion of bank credit since demand for the funds have increased. That is going to result into increasing the bank credit facilities. So market is moving basically because of the optimism in the market since demand is increasing constantly. Okay, so you can see full employment of resources, that it is going to result into increase in the gross domestic product as well. So you can see economic activities are going so fast, and it is going to result into a peak. Okay, so which is also called as a boom. Okay, so it is a boom period where the demand is at a higher side and production is also at a higher side, so resulting into higher employment. Now the next phase is a recession phase. Now we have seen after the peak the demand is going to go down. During recession time you can see first demand starts falling, and as a result production or output falls, and as a result employment is going to fall, resulting into the lower income for all the different peoples and lower profits. So you can see that the businessmen people start losing confidence. There is so much of a negativity, so credit facility is again contracting. Then share market prices of different companies are going to fall. People will start losing their jobs, and as a result what is going to happen, there will be so much of unemployment leading to the recession. That economy may improve from this situation, or sometimes it may happen that it becomes worse, and that is the depression phase. Now in depression phase you can see decrease in the output, income and employment, resulting into the lower profit. Now this is going to also affect the living standard of living of people. So you can see the features: fall in the volume of output, income is going to fall, employment is going to fall, and as a result you will find deflation. Prices of the goods and services has fallen. You will see contraction of bank credit. Okay, there is so much of pessimism in the market. Nobody is ready for doing investment in any of the businesses. They are just constantly waiting for the signs of a recovery. Okay, so you can see interest rate at the lower side, then there is a decline in the prices of the products, resulting into the low point. Recovery phase is basically categorized with increase in the output as a result of improvement in the demand in the market. So since demand has increased, output is going to increase. As a result, employment will increase, resulting into high level of income. As a result, you can see there are positive sentiments in the market, resulting into revival or recovery of the economy. In the next slide, you will just see that credit is again going to expand, resulting into higher interest rates, resulting into higher unemployment. Then aggregate demand and prices of the product starts increasing. Now this is how we can see all this is happening on a continuous basis. You can see whenever market is expanding, it is going to result into the downturn, resulting into the recession. Sometimes it may becomes worse, then that phase is called as a dip. Recovery, you will see market is characterized by the positive sentiments, resulting again into the expansion.